Apart from the teacher being zahid, okay, like abstaining from the dunya, what intention is required to choose the teacher? Is it fine to have a teacher of different school of thought? And how do we cope with differences of opinions? Don't worry about school of thought. Don't let the school of thought even come into your mind. We're going to talk about the school of thought next time, because that's part of understanding. Don't even let school of thought come into your mind. You find the most knowledgeable person that you have access to. And how do we judge knowledge? By a combination of what they know and what they practice. That you see on them that they implement what they are teaching the people. And you see the manners. People used to come and learn manners from Imam Ahmad before they would learn knowledge. And there were loads of people in the circle of Imam Ahmad who didn't come to learn any knowledge from him. They did not want to hear hadith, they did not want to hear tafsir. They came only to learn his manners. Just manners. Subhanallah. So you look at the teacher's manners, more than anything you look at their belief. You look at their belief. Their belief has to be correct. Because if your teacher's belief is incorrect, they're going to ruin you from beginning to end. Even if they teach you, they might teach you Arabic, they might teach you hadith, they might teach you tafsir. But if it's punctuated with wrong beliefs and wrong thoughts and corrupt practices, then ultimately what are you going to take from that? It's going to only increase you in wrong ideas and confusion. So it's very important to have a teacher who is upon the sunnah, practice the sunnah properly, and you go for the most knowledgeable person you have access to. And that might not be the same teacher in the same field. Yeah? So for example, in Arabic, that might be one person. In hadith, that might be another person. You may not be able to find somebody who gathers all of those types of knowledge in one place. So you do the best that you can. You mentioned obtaining knowledge from the scholars. How do we know the right scholars to listen to? And how do we know if their knowledge is sound and their belief is correct? This is also a little bit of a long question, but I will try to give like a summarized answer because I don't want to keep you guys all night, but I'll try to give you like a summarized answer, inshallah. And maybe we can expand next time a bit more on it. The first thing you need is you need one trustworthy source. One person you trust. It can be, one teacher you know very well and you trust them and you know them. So what you do, you go to your teacher and you say, teacher, recommend for me someone I should listen to. And your teacher says, listen to this person. So now you have two sources of trust. Okay? And then so on and so forth as you go and expand until you have, a number of people. The more you listen to them, the more you will be aware of what the right belief is and the wrong belief is, and you'll become able to judge for yourself who is right and who is wrong. But basically, look at this. If you want to go to a doctor to get a medical procedure done, who is the one who knows which doctor is good and which doctor isn't good? You're going to look for a recommendation from someone in the medical profession. So you go to someone in the medical profession who you know, and you say, which doctor is really, really good in this field? They say, in this field, this doctor is really good. Doctors know other doctors, and scholars know other scholars. And the more you learn, the more you will be able to evaluate which scholars are good and which aren't. But in the beginning, you need to start with a reference point. So it could be your local teacher who teaches your classes, and you trust them and you believe their belief is correct and you know nothing but good about them, and you go to them and say, recommend me 2 or 3 people that I should listen to. Recommend me 2 or 3 scholars. Or it may not be somebody local, but it may be that you say, we all agree, for example, that, let's say, the Grand Mufti of Saudi Arabia is a scholar. Okay? For example. Okay? So we all agree. The Sheikh, Salih al-Sheikh, he is a scholar. Hafidhahullah. Okay? If we agree he's a scholar, now he's a reference point for us. And we say to him, Sheikh, who do you recommend? So we see that he recommends so-and-so, and so-and-so, and so-and-so. And he praises their work and he calls them scholars. So now we know that they are also reliable scholars. So it could be someone local you trust, or it could be a big personality you trust. Like, I trust this big, sheikh, that he is a sheikh, and then he is gonna recommend other people to me.